So I'm Aaron Orendorff. You can follow me on Twitter or shoot me any questions you've got at Iconic Content. This is just a quick little overview. Let me jump into, I want to be on, there we go. Yeah, so this is a quick little overview of the places I write, some of the clients I work with. My primary is Shopify Plus. I'm a content marketer over there, so I'm gonna have some illustrations from some of the experiments and things we've been running as it associates with email. And I suppose a better question is why won't tech save your email list? After everything wonderful you just heard about perhaps not needing an email list. And I know, Matthew didn't say that at all. But why won't tech save your email list? Now, alongside of Shopify Plus, and I'm coming through, right? Can you see me? I can only see you, but you can see me? Am I good? All right. So alongside of Shopify Plus, I work with a handful of clients that they're insanely tech savvy when it comes to email. So one of the folks that was, I believe, the fastest growing SaaS company on Inc.'s 500 last year is a company called Bounce Exchange, Bounce X, and I'm a writer for them as well. Get all the fun behind the scenes stuff on that. And what Bounce X does is they're creating these people-based, identification-based experiences that expand across social to PPC to yes email to on-site to be able to customize and personalize and peopleize the entire experience from top to bottom. And so when it comes to email, right, and this is still the hinge of their approach is still email. Another place that I'm just excited out of my mind about OmniMove is a fantastic company that's not so much about that front end of the funnel, but the back end about how do you keep a customer engaged, how do you retain, and the user flows that they've got, the journeys, the automated CRO stuff is it's incredible, right? With what you can do with tech to generate online revenue. So why won't tech save your email list? And I want to give you two examples of some really fantastic, and these really are fantastic tech-based email opt-in forms just to kick this off, to show you that I'm not too much of a curmudgeon. This is from Founder Magazine. All right, this is the header you'll see if you go to founderwithnoe.com. And it's just a great mix of video and imagery and a call to action. They've got name recognition, the Richard Branson issue. Not only are they showing you who they are, but just in a couple seconds, you're going to see exactly who they serve, who you are as the visitor. And this is another one of my favorites. This is from Pure Vita Bracelets. Absolutely sick on their email collection game. This goes so far beyond the usual get a discount, give us your email address approach. Right? So why won't tech save your email list? Understand that we've got to talk about the offer. And I'm really going to go old school with this. Eugene Schwartz's 1966 breakthrough advertising. So this is even before, I mean, forget chatbots, right? Forget social, forget email itself, forget before the internet was even a glimmer in Al Gore's eyes. Eugene Schwartz was talking about direct response copywriting. And when I read this book about a year and a half ago, and right now you can buy it on Amazon for the low price of a used copy, around $500. I'm serious, it's that expensive of a book. Back in 1966, when I read this book a couple of years ago, these words stopped me in my tracks. 5 to 10 words will make up about 90% of the value of your ad. If you are right, they may start a new industry. If you are wrong, nothing you write after them will save your ad. Now, of course, what Schwartz meant is not that every single ad has to come down to just 5 to 10 words, literally. What he means here is that the core, the heart, the soul of a PPC campaign, of AdWords or a PLA or a landing page or any sort of overlay opt-in is always going to come down to these 5 to 10 words that make up the heart and soul of what it is you're offering. right? The power, the force, the overwhelming urge to own, or we might say the overwhelming urge to click, to sign up, that makes advertising work comes from the market itself, not from the copy. And so hopefully you can understand that as a copywriter, as a content marketer, why this is so earth-shattering for me. This is the copywriter's task, not to create this mass desire, but to channel and direct it. When I talk to clients, I always tell them to think in terms of salvation, not sales. And this is riffing right off of what Schwartz was saying. Think salvation, not sales. So we're going to get existential with this for just a moment. Every piece of content, every landing page, every opt-in offer, every product page has to do two things. Okay? Number one, rescue its audience from their own personal hell. So this is the pain side. What are they suffering with? What's the need, the want, the struggle they can't overcome? Fear is the most primal human motivator. We are hardwired to respond to fear more than any other emotion, which is great news for fight or flight and for survival. And it's really good news for marketing as long as it's done ethically. So you got to rescue your audience. Here's what you're suffering from. And two, deliver them unto their own personal heaven. So here's where you are, here's where you want to be. And I put it in these theological, existential, deep terms, because so much of what we often offer, right, when we've gone to all the work of creating the product, creating the content, it's almost an afterthought. And this forces clients, it forces myself to get visceral with it. If I can't articulate, if you can't articulate that hell and that heaven, you're not doing it right. You don't have the 5 to 10 words that make up that core. Now, when we are talking, almost always talk about content offers. So we've got all these different names for them, right? Lead magnets, paired content, bribe to subscribe offers. Back behind that is a whole host of things. How-to guides and checklists and reports and webinar access, right? Even discounts and coupons, right? Free magazines, all this stuff can be considered a content offer. The fundamental problem, especially now, right? This used to work about 5-6 years ago, but especially now, the fundamental problem most marketers, most e-commerce face is they try to go too big. Right? So someone arrives at your blog post, they arrive on your landing page, you've identified the hell, you're pulling them into the heaven, but what that heaven requires is a 5,000 word ebook, a 87-point tool list, or a 95-point checklist. And in our minds, that seems like it's adding enormous value. The problem with that is it sets that bar far too high at the top of the funnel. So if the problem is going too big, then the solution is to go small. So let me give you a couple examples of what I'm talking about. This is a fantastic example from Ramit Sethi over at I Will Teach You to Be Rich. This is a very simple, do you know your earning potential quiz. This is exactly what you'll see on his homepage right now. And if you click through it, notice you're not asked to give anything up front. So the bar is very low. You get to explore before you hand over your email address. It's just a 7-part series of questions. Right? Couple of options each time, ultimately culminating in congratulations, you've finished the quiz. It's personalized, right? So they're already segmenting from the jump. You've invested this time, so the whole idea of yes, send me my quiz results, right? To get your full report on increasing your earning potentials. This answers that hell that they came in with, struggling with money, and it's a simple, easy first step, going small to get them to take the next action. This is a great example from a totally different sort of niche. This is from a site called Carrot. And Carrot basically builds and sells real estate websites for real estate investors, real estate agents. This is a giant beast of a post that I was involved in. Here we're cooking with about 6,000 words. I don't know how many images we included in there. And so in this case, because that's so daunting, the content upgrade is not simply here you can grab this entire thing, or even something so heavy-handed as enter our funnel. Instead, in the introduction, Want to get a simplified keyword, easy to follow checklist with everything we're about to cover? Then you can download it here. And it actually promises something easier than what they're interacting with. And if they make it all the way to the bottom, there it is again. Simplified guide, easy to follow checklist. And the other thing before I move on, I want to stress is don't overthink it. So don't think that you always have to have some sort of content offer, whether small or big. My buddy Borja, who runs the Rebel Growth podcast, if you look closely at this opt-in for one of the sites that he owns, right, it's about cake decorating skills. Right? There's no actual content being offered. All it says is they're going to give you exclusive content and tools. Right? That's it. They're not promising you anything in particular, that list we looked at before. And yet, despite all the common wisdom that you've heard before on opt-in offers and content, when they ran that plain test, it absolutely demolished all of their other current offers, from video to a cheat sheet to an ebook. The simple, plain, all I want to do is get in and get that exclusive content, demolished the rest. Number one, content, go small, not big. All right, so number two, the button. Right? Do not underestimate the power of the button. Use first-person language. So it's notoriously terrible, right, to say things like sign up, right, get updates, submit. Right? At the very least, fellow marketers, try adding me to those equations. At the very least, to put that person in the driver's seat. And it's also a great idea to test that against second-person language, you. Right? Active language always beats passive language. Give me access. Start discovering today. I want in now. Right? Access immediately. These are all those are actual gateway questions built into the buttons. And then preview the payoff. This is that idea of heaven. Right? So really simple one is simply make me a better marketer. But I'm going to show you some examples of some even better ones. Okay? The basic underlying principle, and you may have heard this before, and you're probably ignoring it, so I'm going to say it out loud right here, right now. The I want to blank formula. This is the ultimate formula. I have no idea who originated it. I want to blank, and the blank becomes the button copy. So what does that look like in action? Okay. This is a control over from copy hackers, along with their treatment. Let me tell you, nobody woke up this morning dying to try Schedulicity, not even for free. Right? Nobody woke up this morning dying to try whatever SaaS you're selling or try a free sample or whatever product you're pitching. What someone may have woke up this morning wanting is to end my scheduling hassles. So it's a slight change, but a big difference. Right? This is one of my favorites, and I wish I'd have written this one. This appeared on a post that I did for Unbounce, right? And it turned out to be one of their biggest posts of the year. This was a complete teardown of the funnels of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's pages, very timely a few months ago. And if you went there, you would have seen an inline opt-in box. You would have got a overlay that appeared halfway through the screen and a final opt-in box at the end as well. And every single one of those make my marketing great again. Super clever, super fun, so successful. They ended up writing a whole post about that post, pretty meta, on exactly how well this worked for generating leads. And a lot of that comes down to not just the quality of the content, but having fun with the buttons themselves. Here's a great example from Shopify. So this was the old Shopify blog opt-in. Get updates, new resources straight to your inbox. Subscribe to the Shopify blog. And just like nobody wakes up in the morning dying to try a SaaS, nobody wakes up in the morning longing to subscribe to a blog. So a few months ago, we made a slight tweak to that. Free business lessons. Right? Get knowledge, inspiration, and then the call to action button, get lessons. Nothing more than just copy changes. Is all it came down to. And that simple tweak produced an immediate lift that has continued on since then. Right? So these are small changes, tweaks that make big differences, especially when compounded over time. All right, number three, the form. Okay? And the form always comes down to, if you're going to build your email list, is it better to make a form short or long? Is less more or is more more. That's what I mean when I'm talking about the form. So here are the two questions that I apply when I'm thinking about the length of a form. How many fields should there be? Number one, what's the quality of this content? And number two, what is the qualification of this lead? So this is top of funnel sort of considerations. Let me give you some examples. Right? So on the Salesforce blog, if all you want to do is sign up for the free updates, email address, that's it. As soon as that first question gets addressed, the quality of the content, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 form fields appear. Okay. Over on Shopify, if you want to get started at just the basic Shopify core, right? Just launch a store, email address, that's it. As soon as the qualification of the lead goes up, something like Shopify Plus, which is basically the enterprise arm of Shopify, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then confirm along with the chat now option. You see what I'm talking about here? The quality goes up, the number of forms go up, the qualification of the lead goes up, so too. So with long forms, higher quality, bar for access is raised, higher qualification, the information you need on subscribers is also raised. Don't shoot yourself in the foot just to get the subscription. Okay. 4, landing page. I'm going to keep this one super simple. So I'm just going to tell you the cardinal sin that I see committed all the time on landing pages. Be freaking singular. All right? Singular. One page with one offer. And this gets violated everywhere. If you have multiple buttons on a landing page, and if you're trying to get somebody to subscribe to your email list on that landing page, every single one of those buttons has to drive the visitor to the exact same action. Right? So an action. This is a Mehmet, competitor to things like Pocket, Evernote. Right? Big, bold, sign up, it's free in their header. You scroll a little bit further down, they're going to give you more details, but you're going to see another button that simply says try Mehmet for free. That's going to send you the exact same. Give us your email address. You can download it. A little bit further down, you're going to get more of the key features. And then I want all my content in one place, slightly different language there to hopefully scratch another itch to deliver them from the hell of having your files scattered all over the interwebs. But guess what? That goes to the same opt-in form. So all the way down the page, with every single one of these, they're always driving to the exact same option, singularity. Now, number 5, the entry overlay. And this is what my little GIF here is supposed to be illustrating. However, this is not a page that loads slowly. That little spin right there, that's meant to reflect the one key big idea. 5 seconds. Do not bombard your audience with your entry overlay immediately. No matter what the default setting is on SumoMe, even SumoMe's own data is telling you to delay, to wait. It's just the polite thing to do, and it reaps huge benefits. How about the exit overlay? Right, there's our friend online looking to run away from us, and we want to keep them around, get them to opt in. Questions. Ask questions. They already know it's an exit overlay. It's not a secret what's going on. So just level with your visitor. Right? Going so soon. Here's a guide that keeps 18,739 visitors coming back every day, whatever your legitimate number is. Right? Not quite sure yet. That's cool. But just in case you're waiting for a discount code, right? Wink, wink. Here's one for 20% off. Right? And then a little bit of scarcity added on there as well. Questions, because you're leveling with your audience, because you're being honest with your audience, with your visitors, work incredibly well for exit overlays in particular. The scroll overlay, right? When someone gets to a certain point on your page and that overlay appears to get them to opt in. You can also think of this as like dynamic inline forms. You've seen these before. Let me give you some just pointed advice. Okay? Location, bottom right. Appearance, 47% scroll depth. And again, this is from massive data that SumoMe has collected based on all of their opt-in overlay forms, those kind of things. 47% scroll depth. And I love the exactity on that. But it's not 46%, it's not 48%, it's 47%, just before the halfway mark. light background with a picture. And here's the big caution. And I'm basically going to end on this. Okay? The big caution is test on mobile. So I applied all of these great principles to my site. I had a little bit of fun. When you hit the 47% on any of my blog articles, you get this silly picture of me trying to be personable and welcome you, and I'm scared you're going to miss out, and so you should opt in. By the way, these scroll boxes, the conversion rates on these are almost always 2 to 3 times, at least 2 times on all of my stuff than the entry or the exit, because someone is so ready to convert there. It's such the lowest hanging fruit for the opt-in. Right? Now, this is awesome. And this is a cute picture of me. Not so much when you go to mobile. So this is what all my visitors were getting for about a 3-month period. And the worst part of all, if you look up there on the top right, they couldn't even click the close button until some kind soul sent me a screenshot of that over social. And I've gone so far as to simply disable it altogether on mobile, just to cater to that different type of traffic. Now, we did go old school on this one. And I just want to give a big, again, if you haven't seen Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising, it is absolutely timeless, right? You get 5 to 10 words, the heart, the soul, the core of whatever message you put on top of whatever fancy tech you're using. That's going to make or that's going to break everything else.